Alright, what's up guys, it's Nagy on Sports. Going to do a real quick draft recap for you. Starting with the Bears, we'll just go here in alphabetical order. They used their first round pick on speed. Start Jalen Waddle from Alabama. Look at him with the 76 overall. Look at Ruckert there as a 75 overall in the third round. Good pick there for them. So here are the remaining of the picks for the Bears. For the Bengals, they did not have a first round pick. Again, they traded it away. And so their first pick was a second rounder, and they took center Tyler Linderbaum. Also solid picks there with Phillips and Davis, getting 70 rated players in the fourth round is always a good thing. Here's the rest of their picks. For the Bills, they took Thomas Booker, rush in from Stanford in the first round. Getting some good value there. Leon O'Neal in the sixth round. There's a 70 rated player. Broncos take Justin Fields, huge pick there. Super pumped, I'm sure they are, that he fell to them. 77 overall rating coming right out, which is great. They also took Travis Etienne in the second round, 76 overall rating, so great first couple of picks there for John Elway and company. Browns, of course, we talked about, we'll go over it again. We were able to get 3 first-round picks, and look at that, 76, 76, and 75 with those 3 players. Wyatt Davis will slide right into our right guard starting spot. Bateman was a player that we just could not pass up on there. Too much talent at that spot. Paulson and Debo will be a good cornerback depth for us. Tyreek Smith will slot in right behind Carlos Dunlap, who we picked up in free agency. Again, looking at 73. Hamilcar Rashid will be a starting left outside linebacker when we need to go to 3 linebackers. Running back depth, safety depth. Look at these players at 72, 73, 72. Every one of our draft picks was in the 70s. The scouting department did an incredible job to really get players with high grades, even if they weren't slated to go where they were slated to go. So really proud of our draft there for the Browns, and you can see there's still $26 million in cap room after those trades that we've made. So if we did want to go out and get a higher priced free agent, we could. Buccaneers took Cisco in the first round, fresh after winning the Super Bowl. This is Brock Purdy from Iowa State. We'll see if Tom Brady retires or not. I sure hope that he does. Gregory Rousseau, talented rush end from the U, goes to the Cardinals there. Sort of a small but mighty draft. Aiden Hutchinson, Kenneth Gainwell, also good players there in the 70s. For the Chargers, they're going to take left tackle Samuel Cosmi from Texas to protect Herbert's blindside, and then go out and get Chris Olave, one of the best receivers in this draft. You can see he's a 74. The remainder of their picks. Chiefs, of course, after letting Mahomes go, you can see, look at that cap room. Clearly they didn't have enough to keep him. I don't know what the heck they got themselves into cap hell wise. So Jamie Newman from Georgia, of course, transferred to Georgia last year. Comes in, he's only a 71 rated overall. They took him at pick number 25. A lot of people think he reached on him, but they needed him. Creed Humphrey, talented center there, good pick in the second round. Whitlow, who was a player who was high on our board, goes there as well. Cyrus St. Brown, speedster there as well. So interesting new look Chiefs. Here's the Colts again. Their first pick went to us. They are way under on cap room too. Look at that, negative 710 rated. Sorry, we took Sheldon Richardson fair and square. So they took another receiver there, 72, and then Bryce Thompson, 71, and then Adrian Martinez. Look at that in the 5th round. So did the best they could with what they had there. Colts, Josh Myers, Ohio State center, goes to the Cowboys. You see they got some more weapons as well for Dak. Dolphins took quarterback Trey Lance, so interesting, they take another quarterback in the first round. A lot of people think that's who Trey Lance was being targeted to the Chiefs, but the Dolphins swooped in and took him a little bit early. Again, maybe more to that injury history with Tua than we know about. Eagles took very talented Caden Stearns there in the first, good free safety for them. Also Kyleen Hill had a first round grade for many teams, including us. Falcons took Rondale Moore. Look at that, 99 agility, 98 acceleration. So very, very special player, Rondale Moore there. Got him at the 18th pick. That's a really nice pick for them. They're still McCaffrey, quarterback out of Michigan. Damone Clark, I don't actually love the top part of the draft, but in terms of what they got over the course of the draft, look at all these 70s there. Until their last 3 picks, they were getting 70, overall 70 rankings until the 4th round. So good pick there by the 49ers. Giants took cornerback Sean Wade there with the 14th pick, as the run on first-round corners continues for the Ohio State Buckeyes, and they have tons and tons of catches. Patty Fisher from Northwestern. Again, I'm not sure why sometimes when the colleges are input, again, he's really there. He's really went to Michigan or Northwestern. And if you go to edit him, it'll say he went to Northwestern, or just something about the amount of information that the draft class can bring over. Again, we used Brad C's. He's by far the most downloaded draft classes, and he stacks them so that they all work out, so you can get 21 and then 22 and then 23, and you're not going to get any repeats, which is great. Jaguars took Alex Leatherwood first, and Brevin Jordan, some of those 277s at their first. Took a very strong draft at the top there. There's Desmond Ridder from East Cincinnati, good for him. And then they also got Terrence Marshall in the 5th round, so a lot of people thought he would go higher as well. Good draft for the Jags. Xavier Thomas, the Russian, goes to the Jets. He's there as their dress. There's Walker Little. A lot of people thought he would be a first-round pick. It's only a 68, and he fell to the 5th. Micah Parsons, the 2nd overall pick, 78 overall. Look at that, 88 acceleration. Justin Ross, of course, talented receiver from Clemson, goes in the 2nd round for them. So they have a pretty nice little draft. Pete Werner, Luke Farrell, a couple of Ohio State players joining Jeff Okudah there. For the Packers, they took Ohio State player Jonathan Cooper. Again, he went to Ohio State. If you click on him and try to edit him, it'll say he went to Ohio State. Just not sure why it shows up as NA. Puka Williams, Tyree Johnson, and then, of course, so a small draft, but a lot of decent value there, I think, for Packers with their 4 picks. Panthers took Patrick Surtain, the 2nd talented cornerback from Alabama first, and then a 1-2 punch with Alabama taking Najee Harris, who fell all the way to the 2nd round. Very talented running back is Najee Harris. Of course, not sure how he's going to get on the field much when you have Run CMC on that team. So again, after the big offseason pickup from Mahomes to the Patriots, they start immediately by trying to protect his right side. So they're going to get talented rookie Jackson Carman and Jamari Sayer. So the top right tackle and the top right guard in the draft, 77 and 75. That's going to be a nice way for him to start his career in New England there, Pat Mahomes. Raiders took Sewell, maybe the best player in the whole draft there, 79 rated again. I think he and about 2 others were rated 79s. We'll get to them in a second. Asante Samuel Jr. as well. And some other talented players, Chaz Surratt. Rams in the 1st round, the talented defensive tackle Jake Tufele. We were hoping that there would be some kind. There was just no way it was going to fall to us at 24. Nick Petit-Frere, of course, talented right tackle there from Ohio State, going to the 2nd round. There's Devontae Smith and a couple other players drafted. Ravens took Trey Smith, the other 1st round graded guard that the Browns were looking at, but they were excited to be able to get Wyatt Davis and move him over. And but Trey Smith is also a good player. And then Lorenzo Neal, power rusher, D tackle, that we were also looking at to scheme fit for us as the Browns, and it took him 1 pick before we did. Interesting, they draft Kellen Mond, not quite as nimble, but he still, look at that, 82 as a speed, 81 agility. So in kind of that same mode, but also a strong arm. Kellen Mond out of Texas A&M as a sort of Lamar Jackson prototype player. Tyson Campbell, decent. Look at their 2nd round pick, actually better than their 1st round pick. The Redskins didn't have a lot of picks, but maximizing Chuba Hubbard in the 2nd round, a lot of people think he was maybe the best back in the draft. Saints, actually, I did not really like their draft. They took Merlin Robertson, so he's a good 1st round pick, but then look at that, 69, 64, 60, 69, and 64. They did take Ian Book, the quarterback, which is kind of interesting. So not a great draft for the Saints in terms of their players' ratings. They could grow into something special, you never know. Marvin Wilson, defensive tackle, again used from Florida State. Foster Sorrell leading out what, of course, is another talented Seahawks draft class. The Steelers were the lucky ones with the 1st pick. They tanked at the right time. I think Big Ben's got to be gone, or he's real dang close to being gone. So they draft Trevor Lawrence, number 1 overall. There he is, a 79. And, of course, now we're going to have to see him twice a year for the next decade. So that sucks pretty bad. The Steelers drafting all 70s or higher until their 7th round pick. So even though they only had 5 picks, they made the most of those 5 picks. Texans took talented, the best middle linebacker on the board, Dylan Moses, to replace Zach Cunningham, left in free agency. Javon Holland, also a talented player. Jamar Jefferson, a good player as well. Even though they got kind of a glut of running backs there, it's interesting for them to see them getting 70 or higher value at the end. Titans take Pat Freiermuth, talented tight end from Penn State. Of course, he's a 78, and Lars Woodby in the 2nd round is also a very talented player, 76 out of him, and the rest of it not quite so great. Jamar Chase, he's one of the other 79 rated players. There he is, absolute stud, wide receiver out of LSU. And Vikings, I think, ran up there with the 6th pick to get him, to get another weapon. And there is the rest. There's Thayer Munford, the rest of their draft. So very quickly, we'll just go through the first round again. The 4 rated 79 players were Lawrence, Sewell, Chase. I think maybe that's it. I thought maybe there was one more. Maybe we'll stumble upon them. Jamie Newsom, bit of a reach on him. So that was it. But interesting that the next quarterback taken after Jamie Newman didn't go for a long time. So it was going to be Brock Purdy, and he even still was the same rating at 71. So they did what they needed to do. So that's it for the NFL draft. We're going to take a few days off here from playing real live games, but we will get back to it when we get back to it. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Nagy on Sports. Go Browns! Enjoy the off season.